I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. At 7 Notes Natural Health, hear, see, and feel true wellness through an assortment of services and monthly gatherings. One such opportunity is Labyrinth Walks to find a connection to nature and its inhabitants.
We are having a Labyrinth Walk to celebrate the summer solstice.
It was a beautiful sunny day and full of intention.
A labyrinth is a meditative tool to help quiet your mind and calm your heart.
I'm looking for something that was more meditative and a place to find some chance to reflect.
Most people feel a deep connection to other people, whether they're walking singly, individually, or whether they're walking in a group as we did today. They also feel sort of a peace, a sense of calm, and a meditative relaxation.
Becoming one with the earth and making sure that we're paying attention to the changing of the seasons.
For more on all the ways to reach wellness goals, visit 7notesnaturalhealth.com. Stay tuned, and we'll be back with more in exactly 30 seconds. The city is home to more than 160 must-see parks with scenic views, places to play, and some top-notch facilities. See all that Allmendinger Park has to offer the community during this Park Peak.
Allmendinger Park is an 8-acre park located on Pauline Boulevard between Hutchins and Edgewood Avenue, southwest of downtown. It has a mix of open spaces and oak woods. The park contains softball fields, a restroom facility which is closed in winter, and a water fountain. It also features a play area nestled in an oak and hickory grove, a tennis court, and a basketball court. An accessible asphalt path connects a play area, picnic area, and restroom facility. In the spring, lilacs along the southwest edge blossom. Many folks come here to fly kites, run with their dogs, chase their kids around the baseball diamonds, practice martial arts, and picnic. The kids' playground makes a good birthday spot and provides plenty of shade. A favorite feature of the playground is the classic merry-go-round. There is a small shelter between the public restrooms that can be rented for meetings or food and beverage setup and includes a sink and refrigerator. Contact Park Rentals for information on reserving or hosting an event at Allmendinger.
School bells are ringing, and the roads and walkways are much busier as students flood through the hallways and get back into the groove of learning. Learn back to school safety tips in this month's City Roundup.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Mark Pulford with the Ann Arbor Police Department. Today we want to share with you 4 safety tips for the upcoming school year. The first one is always stop. So if you're approaching a stop sign or a traffic signal, make sure you stop in advance of the crosswalk because chances are there's going to be people crossing there. The second one is stay alert. Distracted driving kills, and one of the worst ways or worst forms of distracted driving is texting and driving. So put the phone down and keep your eyes on the roadway. The third one is to keep your distance. There'll be a lot of school buses on the road. If you see a school bus with the lights on or the arm down, you are required to stop. You have to stop 20 feet away from the school bus, and that includes both directions. The only exception is if it's a divided highway. The fourth one is to be patient. With the new school year, people are rushed, people are getting used to the routines, so we recommend the night before school, set out clothing and lunches, anything that you may need the following day to make your morning a little smoother and the commute a little less stressful. We hope that you have a great school year and be safe.
Embracing Our Differences aims to create social change through visual arts and the written word. These billboard-sized images at Gallup and Riverside Park center on the message of human family, seeing and hearing about our cultures and abilities through the arts. Joining me is Nancy Margolis, Executive Director of Embracing Our Differences, Michigan. Welcome back to the show, Nancy.
Thank you for having me, Dana. It's so good to see you.
It's always a great conversation. I mean, the billboards blow me away year after year. Why don't you talk about the initial Embracing Our Differences here and why you're continuing to do it year after year?
Well, I would love to. Thank you. I love to talk about embracing our differences. For people that don't know, Embracing Our Differences is an art and education program all about diversity, how we really enhance our lives and celebrate diversity. I saw this program in Sarasota, Florida, about 4 years ago, and I was, as you said, blown away by the banners. So I talked with them to see if we could bring it here to Washtenaw County. And they said yes. So 3 years ago, we started a private nonprofit corporation, got our 501c3, started raising lots of money, and started the program. So this year is our third year of having the banners in both Gallup Park in Ann Arbor and Riverside Park in Ypsilanti. The whole idea, as Dana said and as I have said, is to teach about diversity. So the banners themselves, while they are beautiful and they're huge for people who haven't seen them, they're 16 feet by 12 feet, 16 feet wide and 12 feet high. And so when children come out to see it, it's just like, wow, and they just can't believe it. The purpose of the banners, of course, is to spark discussions about the different kinds of diversity. And we're really talking about race and sex and LGBTQ and mental concerns and physical handicaps and anything that is different. We have a banner this year about neurodiversity, all the different kinds of neurodiversities that we encounter and how they are wonderful citizens and friends and important for our society. So what we do is we offer free field trips to students from both school districts, Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti. We bring them down to the park at no cost, and we have docents there who take them on a tour and elicit discussion about the banners. We ask them, what do you see? What do you think the artist was thinking in mind? What did they have in mind? Has this ever affected you? Have you ever talked to somebody like this, etc.? And they get very, very interested and animated in the discussions. It's really quite exciting.
Yeah, I will say I've done both. I've gone on a field trip and had a docent tour, and I've gone by myself. And I think it's fun both ways. Like you have the docent, you can like talk to them and ask them questions about the artwork, which is great. And I think it's really nice. I went with a young group of kids when we did it. I think they were in kindergarten at the time. But they actually ask questions. They're interested. They want to know about this.
Isn't that amazing? Even at that age.
Their peers. Yeah, the art is from people that they might know.
Right, exactly. And I should point that out. We have a combination of local art. We send out a call for art to Ann Arbor artists in Washtenaw County, as well as we have international art from Sarasota. So Sarasota sends us the PDFs, and we have a panel of judges who are artists themselves, and they make the discussion about the decision about which banners to use and which banners that we can bring to Ann Arbor as well. So we have a combination of about 1/3 local artists and who are both children in school and local adult artists, as well as 2/3 international artists.
Do you happen to know how many banners there are?
Yes, I should have said that. We have a total of 60 banners altogether. 45 banners are in Gallup Park, and 15 banners are in Riverside Park. We have a panel of educators, mainly retired teachers from Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti, and they have developed fabulous curriculum and lesson plans that are free to teachers in both Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti school districts. The whole idea is that they will take a lesson plan and sort of plop it into whatever they happen to be doing. So it doesn't take additional time for the teachers, but they can encourage the students to think about diversities and think about differences, maybe be encouraged to do a banner or to paint a banner, maybe be encouraged to submit a quote. As you saw, each of the banners has on it a quote that is a separate contest from the artist. So the artists submit their art is selected by, as I said, a panel of judges, and then we have another panel that selects quotes, and then we put them together, and it's amazing. Somehow, we don't know how, but somehow the quotes really fit so many of the banners.
What is the criteria for writing the quotes? Do you give some information for people so they can come up with something?
I think, well, the quotes have to be a certain length. They can't go on and on and on. I think it's like 30 words or something like that. And we give them prompts. So it's things like different races, different hairstyles, about bullying, about depression, about happiness, different ideas. So they can then think about what they would like to draw about. And usually it's up to them to make the decision. The teachers are very helpful. They will work with the students for many, many months and have them encourage them to do different kinds of art as well.
When does the submission period start? Because the banners are up for a while in the parks.
Right. The banners are up from May until the end of October. We're sending out the call for art in September, and the deadline will be January 15, and likewise for the quotes as well. We are holding workshops for teachers in the fall when they first come back to school, so that we can help the teachers figure out how to involve their students as well. So we'll have a workshop for Ann Arbor art teachers and Ypsilanti art teachers. It happens that they're both going to be on the same day, which is going to be rather taxing. Some of us are going to be running back and forth, but we'll get it done.
I mean, I can't even imagine being a school-aged kid and going to Gallup or Riverside Art and being able to look and see this banner that's bigger than life, basically. It has to feel so special. You know, I have a daughter that's 8, and she did this, it's called Doodles Academy, where they're like these after-school art classes. And they, at the end of the class, were able to put their artwork up in a couple downtown spots. And it was like just in the window at Downtown Home and Garden for the month of July. And it was like meant the world to her. So I can't even fathom how these people feel having their artwork on display in such a large scale.
Yes. That is a wonderful thing that Ann Arbor does. I think it has most of the schools involved during, I think it was March, that they have student art day, I think, and they're up all over. We had an exhibit also at Cultureverse, which is a gallery on Main Street. And we were able to have that gallery for about a month. And we encouraged our local artists to bring in their original art. And the children then came, and many of the adults came as well. But they saw, pieces of art this big that had been blown up to a huge size. And it was, as you said, very, very exciting for them.
Nancy, obviously art is very important to you. You think you're bringing it to everyone here. You were responsible for this being a part of our landscape 3 years ago. Why do you feel it's so important to bring the arts and visual arts out into the world, into the public?
Well, Dana, you're right. I love art, but I think I really have more of a passion for building a society of people who feel included, bringing people together, a society that is kind and gentle and inclusive. And I think that was my main mission, and will continue to be the main mission. The art, as I said, is the spark to it and gets it going and thinks about it and really gets people involved in the discussion of it. We're thinking about, what we're trying to do is to find other ways besides the art to bring people together for this discussion. And this is the second year we had something called Diversity Day, where we invited local organizations to come together, have a table at Gallup Park, show what they do, talk together, figure out how they can work together. It was very, very successful this past, I think we did it in May. We'd love to have more suggestions from the community of how we can bring different people together to enjoy each other and to get to know each other. I'm open to suggestions.
I think it's such a great idea that you're doing this. It's such an important time in our history that we
Yes,
be
it is.
open-minded towards other cultures and sexual orientation and disabilities or whatever it might be. And it is an amazing thing that you're starting the discussion with this artwork, but you want to continue to have it grow and grow. And I think that when you think about like children and stuff, like having these conversations and being open about this stuff when they're young will make them, I feel, more open-minded in the future for whatever the possibilities are.
We know that that's true. There's a lot of evidence that children have exposures very early on, and it carries out throughout their life. Of course, children, when they're very young, don't have any prejudices. They really don't. They see differences, but they say, okay, they're different. They just accept it. They're not, at all prejudiced about it. So we're hoping that they will continue that, as you said, as they get older, and then bring their parents down and have their parents talk about it and think about these issues as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like you think about stuff from your own past where you're like, man, that was not the greatest way to be. And then you like think about the way the future is, and you personally, as a grown-up, want to be able to evolve with society as well. And it is harder once you have certain things ingrained in your mind that you were sort of brought up with. It's a harder hill to climb.
It is a harder hill, and we don't have the opportunities that often. Housing doesn't allow it to happen. Schools often are diverse enough to allow that to happen. They are more so than they used to be when I was growing up. But we need a lot more opportunities to figure out how to get together and talk with each other and get to know each other and want to build a different kind of society for the future for our kids.
I know that your theme basically is inclusivity. Is there a specific theme every year, or is it just like that encompassing, tell me about you and what makes you special kind of aspect?
Well, we don't really have a specific, we don't zero in on a specific theme beyond diversity, beyond differences, beyond how do we include people and how do we look at people differently so that we can see that there are differences, but that we accept it. We don't accept the differences. We admire the differences and we can understand the differences. So we haven't yet. Florida has, when they have done it, they have sort of selected one theme per year, but we are just so new. I think it's more important for us to just have a whole inclusive kind of a theme as well. We would love to be in the out county area. So if anybody from Chelsea or Dexter or Milan or Selena is listening to this or seeing this, I would love to talk with somebody. I don't have the contacts in those communities, and I would like to be able to go and talk with the school systems and or the park departments to see if they would like to join us.
When you are getting these submissions, I assume they're digital, or are they, could they be submitted in the mail or whatever, and then you take it and print it on these large billboards?
Yes, the way it works is we have very specific guidelines on our website. And our website, by the way, is eodmichigan.org, so that people can go on the website, see the specifications for the art, and they are submitted digitally. Last year, of course, we got from some children little pieces of paper that were all scrambled up. And we had to figure out how to make them all flat and take pictures of them. We're not going to do that again this year.
Yeah, I'm sure it's much harder.
They need to be digital, yes. And if students are submitting, if they're in elementary school or middle school, they need parent permission to submit or a teacher permission to submit. If they submit through their school, that's fine. But all of the ideas and requirements are on the website, so people can take a look at them.
Nancy, do you have a favorite or a couple standout pieces from this year that you really like?
I get attached to them all because I know what the artists have said and what they've talked about. Some of the artists, the one artist who says talk. Oh gosh, I've forgotten the title of it. The one who I should say that the judges select a best in show adult and a best in show middle school and a best in show student, and they get a financial reward as well as having their an emblem on the banner itself. The gal who won the best in show adult is a teacher from Ypsilanti. She very openly has talked about her depressions and some of her mental challenges that she has had through life, and the banner reflects this. It shows a gal sitting under a zipper, And underneath the zipper, she's in the bottom of the zipper, and underneath the zipper, there are all these negative words such as sadness, bullying, all kinds of negative feelings. But outside the zipper, which she realizes she can open up the zipper and be very different. Outside the zipper are beautiful, bright, colorful events and patterns and a scenery that is outside on the top of the banner. And so it's fabulous what people can do and talk about and how they can express themselves through art. I think one of my favorites was a gorgeous one that's called Free Hugs. This beautiful man with his arms out saying he'll give free hugs, and everybody really resonates to that because people like hugs.
Yeah, I love how vulnerable the artists are too. Like they really have to give something of themselves that they may never give anyone, and they're
Right,
giving it to
right.
the whole world, basically. Anyone can go see them.
Right, exactly, exactly. I think that it helps them work through through some people who have gone through bullying or people who have gone through depression have actually done art and talked about it and got it out on paper, saw it, sort of got it out of themselves. And I think it has helped them. I hope it has helped them as well. And it can help other people seeing it. I think it helps other people realize that there are other children going through this, other teenagers going through many of the things that they feel, and they can share it and they feel better about it.
Do you need volunteers still?
We can always use volunteers. We like to have volunteers. Number one, help us raise money. That's always a big
Yeah.
We do have to have funds to continue the program. We would love volunteers to help be docents and be people around. This year we have a number of departments from the University of Michigan who are bringing their staff down. And this is really very thrilling because the university, as people probably know, has a DEI lead in every single department. DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. Has a DEI lead in every department in the university. And they are now coming down and bringing their staff and bringing their faculty as well. So that's the way we're hoping to get the word around and also to get some more volunteers as well. The banners, when they come down, we have a new exhibit every single year. And when the banners come down, we give them free of charge, no strings attached to schools or universities or any building, commercial as well, that has a wall they'd like to hang them in, and they can be hung in inside or outside. Many of our schools have them hanging in the cafeteria because they have very high ceilings, or in gyms that have very high ceilings. Kiwanis out on West Jackson Road has 3 hanging outside, and they're powerful to see them. So I would love to have and be able to give more banners to more schools and more buildings, because it's sort of sad to think of them just sitting in a warehouse somewhere. They're
Well,
beautiful.
yeah, and it's environmentally friendly. You're reusing them. I actually know that there's one at Ann Arbor Open on the wall outside. I
Right.
walk by it
That's right.
every day of the school year. So, and
Yeah.
I love it there. It was
Oh,
nothing
good.
before. It was just a brick wall, and now it's got
Yes.
a message. It's beautiful.
Nice. It is nice. It gives people a good feeling when they go by and they see it as well.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
think that's a really cool aspect of it, that you are reusing these banners because they have a
Mhm.
great message. And the art was obviously something that was well thought out and worked hard on.
Yes,
So
and
to see it live
it's very
on is,
meaningful.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
So you
good.
obviously mentioned that you could use funding. Can you just go on the website if you want to donate to?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. We're also hoping that we can have more corporations. We get a lot of funding from the University of Michigan and Michigan Medicine and Washtenaw County, and a couple of the banks. We would like to have all the banks involved. We would like to have more of the foundations. The Ann Arbor Area Community Foundation has been a wonderful sponsor as well. And as I said, both Kiwanis and a couple of other corporations and nonprofit organizations are sponsors as well, but we can always use more.
Well, we're just about out of time, but there
Yeah,
is
good.
still plenty of time to go see Embracing Our Differences Michigan at Gallup and Riverside Arts or Riverside Park. Why should people check out every year? I've gone every year and I've loved it every year. So
You're a terrific supporter, Dana. Thank you. I think people should go every year because there are new banners every year, new things to think about, and it's good to sort of be re-inspired again That's so one reason that many of people will go and see them again.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for
Yes.
being on the show and talking about the amazing artwork that is right here, right down the street for most of us, and that we should all check it out at both locations.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it, Dana. You do
For
good
more-
work.
Oh, thank you so much. For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/CTN. Visit youtube.com/CTN Ann Arbor to see all that we have to offer. And remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification. Thanks for watching and tune in next time to FYI.